I'm Nicky T, paintball professional. If this is your first visit to my YouTube channel, welcome. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all of the latest content releases. And if you enjoy this video, share it amongst all of your paintballing friends with social media, email and WhatsApp. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the new MacDev Prime paintball marker. Opening up the box reveals a plethora of MacDev goodness. On one side you've got the barrel kit that's included with the marker, so with this particular one it's the Shift 2 and it comes with two inserts, a 685 and a 693. You also have the get out of jail spares kit and lube, as well as all the tools you're going to require for regular upkeep of your new Prime. On the other side you got the manual, you got your branded barrel cover, and probably most exciting for you is your new marker, MacDev Prime. The left-hand side of the grip frame is an OLED screen. This gives you an immediate heads up of what state the marker is in. Is the Prime on or off? Are the eyes on? Can they see anything in the breech? To assemble your Prime barrel, choose the insert size that you wish to use, take your back, and then insert the insert front to back. So O-ring at the front of the barrel back and push it all the way down until it stops. When you're at that point, take your front and remembering that it's reverse threaded, screw the front into the back to complete the barrel. And what that will do is that will also ensure that the insert is pushed all the way to the rear of the back. I think it's important to clarify my history with MacDev and their markers. Coming into this review, the only MacDev marker that I've shot for an extended period of time prior to the Prime was the Clone 5, which I used for a couple of seasons, played on Gladiatori Unicusano in the Millennium series, and really grew attached to how the gun shot, and most importantly for me, how the gun felt in my hands. When I got the opportunity to review the Prime, I obviously have a benchmark and I obviously have formed an opinion of what I expect from MacDev as a brand. And there's a lot that maybe isn't appreciated that happens behind the scenes that MacDev integrate into their marker designs. For example, they make their own solenoid valve. Off the top of my head, I can't think of another manufacturer in the industry that has that ability to tailor the solenoid valve specifically to the product because they manufacture it. Sure, other markers will specify we need the solenoid valve to do A, B, and C, but the reality is if a running revision is required or something obscure occurs and that necessitates a change, MacDev have the ability to react quickly and also control the entire process. That to me is a big factor of how the gun feels, how the gun can shoot, how the gun, what its capabilities are. If the manufacturer controls more of these variations or permutations, yes, there are underpowering solenoids, there are they make their own barrels for argument's sake. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the top manufacturers do this. It's just the fact that I don't think MacDev ever sing from the rooftops that they do it. And I feel it's important for you guys to actually appreciate the benefit that gives you as a customer using one of their markers. The MacDev Prime comes in at $1,400 US, so just over £1,000 for anyone in the UK. With that price tag comes expectations, but also it's important to recognise that it's up against the likes of the new Lux X, the Dye M3s and the Eclipse CS2s. So it's a fierce marketplace where every manufacturer is competing for players' cash. Something to take into account when purchasing a new marker is how well suited it is for your personal situation. Will there be tech support on hand? at any local events that you're going to attend, or even national events? Do other players in your area use the same marker? So could you try theirs before you buy to form a more educated opinion of how suitable it is for you? All of these factors should come into play and help you to decide if this is the next marker for you. MacDev is a brand that's based in Australia, and in recent years they've made huge strides to ensure that there's tech support not just in Europe and the US, but also at local and regional events. This is a huge factor when considering your next purchase. One stipulation I had when I decided to review products was that I wasn't just going to use it once, shoot it once, and form an opinion based on that limited time span. I wanted to use the product for an extended period of time. So for example, I've had the Prime in my gear bag for the past 3 months now. When I've had the opportunity to shoot it, I have. And when I haven't, like when I've been coaching, I've given it out to other players to use so that they can offer their input on what they like or dislike. And also any feedback on what they weren't quite comfortable with and what they feel could have been improved. One of the takeaways from that process was when I handed it to some and they picked it up, they instantly said, "Oh, those grips are hard." Now, MacDev have made the rubber grips so that they're durable. Yes, it's a harder compound, but if it was a softer compound, there'd be greater wear and tear, etc. Think of it like the tires on your vehicle. If it's softer, sure, it grips more, but it wears faster. So this was a culture decision by MacDev to just ensure that these grips would always perform and stay true to form and watertight on the frame. One of the most striking features to me is the fact that the 3D milling on the Prime is so well thought out. I love the elongated lines that run from rear to front. I love the understated style that just commands appreciation. I love the fact that there's no sharp edges. When holding the trigger frame, when running my thumbs and fingers over the body, it's not like I'm gonna catch an edge and recoil in pain. It's just so well thought out and executed, most importantly. The rubber grips themselves have a stippling effect on the mold. They've also got ridges to provide grip in all the right places. So we're talking the foregrip has these grip areas on the front and rear, and the trigger frame grip has them on the sides. An easily overlooked feature of the grips is the fact that there's no gaps between metal and rubber. And what this does is this facilitates a watertight seal to, of course, safeguard against any ingress from moisture, from debris, so, paint, dirt, etc., all of which is harmful to electronics. Thoroughly impressed with the design and how well thought out it is. By choosing to use the product over an extended period of time, I feel that this gives me a much greater appreciation of the reliability of the product and also if there's any maintenance schedule or requirements going forward. Having been exposed to the MacDev Prime for a number of months now, I've taken this thing apart multiple times, cleaned it, lubed it, and really got to know the inner workings. The Infinity Drive is simple. A dual bumper system, minimal O-rings to lubricate and clean, and in essence, much like many of the higher end markers at the moment, the bolt moves through a can arrangement, and the upkeep of that internal O-ring that the bolt is passing through every single shot is crucial to how the marker performs and how it feels. The MacDev Prime operates at just 100 PSI. This lends to a very soft shot, and when you combine that with the design features such as the ergonomics, how the hands sit, how the marker feels in the hands, the elongated design, you can immediately begin to appreciate how comfortable it is to play with. Not just in the off the break. Off the break, I feel it's going to transition to a very stable shooting platform, and it does. But in-game, you can run and gun. The elongated design gives you better peripheral vision. Obviously, especially if that's in conjunction with a longer tank. I choose to play with an 88 because it pushes the marker away from me. I also feel that the elongated design makes you want to reach, you want to go, and you want to get busy with this marker. It's not a case of this is just for running and gunning. This isn't, a jousting pole. It's just as comfortable when you're behind a bunker and you have to snap shoot. It just gives you the feeling in the hands of it wants to race. And that to me is something that I've rarely appreciated in other markers, partially because I've not been looking for it. But this little tiny stretch between the hands almost it lends a completely different feel and ethos to this marker. You want to get busy and go and make something happen on field. And to me, that's actually a super important component of the game. It's something that I enjoy. Everybody wants to be the player that goes and bunkers their opponent rather than being the guy that gets bunkered. As you've probably guessed by now, I'm big into the feel of a marker. If it feels good in the hands, I'm confident that it will shoot where I'm looking. With a history partially in shotgun shooting, that hand-eye coordination, there's the target, bang, it's shot, is huge, and it translates to how I play paintball, how I teach paintball. You shoot at where the target is going, not where it's been. It all comes down to consistency. If it feels consistent, it will translate to you playing better. If you play better, you'll have a greater confidence in your equipment. And I think that, as well as enjoying your time on field more, if it's reliable, you'll enjoy your time off field more. And all of that builds into what you're getting for your money. $1,000 plus is a hefty price tag for anything nowadays, especially paintball related, so it should be a very considered opinion. What you get with the MacDev Prime is a marker that's capable of competing. It's a soft shot, it's a quiet shot, the sound signature isn't at all abrasive. It's very easy to communicate on field. You only have to watch Joy Division, Tauntauns, Uprising, ML Kings, just to see what the marker is capable of in the right hands. The shot quality is great. It's flat, it's soft, and it's quiet as well. The sound signature from both the Shift 2 and the Shift 3 is phenomenal. I think you get a very good, comprehensive package when purchasing a MacDev Prime. At its price point, the MacDev Prime is a serious contender. When you consider everything that you get in the box when you're purchasing the marker, as well as the concerted effort that MacDev are making to grow the brand and support users of their product worldwide, I think that these are going to be a far more common sight at paintball fields everywhere. Thank you for taking the time to watch my MacDev Prime review. If you've enjoyed this video, please share it amongst your paintball friends and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of the latest content.